An announcement that a lot of people have been waiting a long time to hear. For the first time in 4 years, the Bank of Canada has cut the interest rate. For more on this, we're joined this morning by our money expert, Rubina Ahmed-Haq. Rubina, good morning to you. And obviously, this was welcome news by a lot of people. Why did they decide that now was the right time to cut the interest rate?
They really pointed to domestic reasons. So inflation, that's the big one, is under 3%. So it's in that 2 to 3% target. We're seeing slower growth, slower GDP growth. In fact, the first quarter growth came in slower than expected. And so all of that is pointing to an interest rate cut is now possible, that the economy can handle it without it stoking inflation. And that was some of the major reasons that they gave for cutting rates. And it's, of course, like you mentioned, a welcome relief for those who have a variable rate mortgage or carrying any debt that is tied to the floating rate.
If there was any time for a round of applause, this is the time for it. We've been waiting a long time to hear this. So break it down on what you started to do that just right there. Let's talk about what it means for families.
So we have to put this into perspective. It is only a 25 basis point cut. We've seen the interest rate come up 475 basis points. So it's not like we're getting anywhere close to where we were when we first saw interest rates starting to increase 2 years ago. So someone who's carrying, for example, a $500,000 mortgage, it could mean about $70, $80 in your pocket every single month that you won't have to pay towards interest. But what this does indicate, because history dictates that the Bank of Canada doesn't just, any central bank doesn't cut interest rates just once. They usually do a series of cuts. So there could be, and economists are saying, even more cuts to come in 2024. And that could mean real relief for Canadian families.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are waiting to hear that, whether or not further interest rate reductions are on the way. Rubina, appreciate this morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.